Okay, this is Algebra, Exercise 3, Part B, Question 1. And if you want to just look and see what I've done here, then just pause the YouTube video right now and take a look. If you want me to explain it, then I'm going to explain it right now. So I see in my question here I've got these fractions, I've got brackets sitting here, and I need to boil everything down to this, just one x on one side of the equation. And so the first thing I want to try and do is get rid of these brackets. I do that by looking at these coefficients here. I see a third over here and a negative fifth over here. And if I multiply them to each of these terms inside the brackets, I can basically remove the brackets. Okay, so 1/3 times 3x, I'm just multiplying the numerators here, and so the numerator here is a 1, and the numerator here is a 3x. And the denominator for the coefficient is 3, and the denominator over here is actually a 1. And we don't write it in, but every number is divided by 1 if you want it to be. Okay, so 3x times 1 is 3x. Negative 6 times 1 is negative 6, and the denominator is still 3 because 3 times 1 is 3. Over here, negative 1 times x is negative x, negative 1 times positive 2 is negative 2, and my denominator is staying the same, it's 5. Because, again, I have denominators here that are a 1. And my 12 on the other side of the equal sign is fine the way it is. So I have no more brackets. If I'm just looking at the green stuff, I have no more brackets. I just have these fractions. And so I want to get rid of all these fractions. And one of the easiest, it's just one way, but one of the easiest ways is to look for a common denominator. And so I see 3's and 5's, and I'm thinking 15 is my common denominator. So now I'm going to add brackets back in, which seems a little silly. But I'm adding these brackets and multiplying by 15 on both sides of the equation. And now I can multiply this 15 to every single term inside these brackets. Again, that's 15 over 1. So my denominators are going to all stay the same in my red equation here. So 15 times 3x is 45x, 15 times negative 6 is negative 90, 15 by negative x, negative 15x, and 15 times negative 2 is negative 30 over 5. And then 15 times 12 is 180. Now I don't have any brackets, and I can get rid of my fractions really simply by just pulling out a calculator and typing in 45 divided by 3 is 15, and the x is still there. Negative 90 divided by 3, negative 30. Negative 15 divided by 5, negative 3. Negative 30 divided by 5 is negative 6. And 180 is where it is. So I have no more fractions. I can start combining terms that are the same. So negative 30 is sort of the same ballpark as negative 6, and I can combine these x's together. And when I do that, I get 12x minus 36 equals 180. I'm trying to isolate this x all by itself, and right now this negative 36 is here. I want to add 36 in order to create a 0, and then I'm going to add 36 on this side, which gives me 216. So I almost have my x completely isolated. I just need to divide this side by 12 and the other side by 12, and that leaves me with x equals 18. Let me know if you have any questions.